Donald Trump, Mike Pence, Richard Spencer, Hillary Clinton, Theresa May, Nigel Farage, Adam Walker, Norbert Hofer, Marine Le Pen, Geert Wilders, Frauke Petry, Jimmy Akeson, Andre Barbis, Beppe Grillo. It is highly likely that you didn't recognize many of these names, but that is the exact intent of the powers that be. Those above you that don't deem you important or rich enough to have all of the information. The world has entered a period of quiet fascism. The right wing is seeing an unprecedented increase in power and influence, and nobody can do anything to stop it.
Hail Trump! Hail our people! Hail victory!
Trump happened. Brexit happened. You may sit in the comfort of your home and claim that the change isn't great enough to affect you. You may ignore the signs from the media sphere and the liberal words of the isolationist left and feel safe in your own personal static nirvana. What it does tell you is that all the people who are supposed to tell you about what's going on in the world and how to live, the people that you have elected to think for you, the journalists, the politicians, the pollsters don't know any more than you do. It's all guessing and conjecture. We are united as a societal hive mind, often under the ideal that whatever happens we are all struggling together. But once again this is a blatant misinterpretation.
Proud fucking American! Made in USA, bitch! Made in fucking USA! I'll fucking cook my burrito, bitch!
We live in a world in which our perception has been destabilized, so it is easier to be directed and controlled. But who or what is to blame? Is it the rise of a corrupt and separatist elite? The acceptance of a secretive and sinister governing body, preferring profit over perspective? In fact, it is the main blame lies with the regulatory body that is today's media. Over the last decade, the method of informing the public as to what was happening in the world has changed drastically. No longer can any news story be hidden. Everything can be revealed with a single tweet. Careers can be ended by 17-year-olds with camera phones. This is what the proprietors of social media would have you think. Your feed has become so innovative, so self-aware, that the only people that you are communicating with are your own inept social circle. You might jump on a hashtag movement or at a celebrity once in a while and claim to be doing your bit, but does anyone actually take your opinion into account? You send your opinions out into cyberspace, and for what? You are being profiled and organized, but it's happening quietly, so you don't really feel like you can moan about it. Social media has become a ground for the wanting and ineffectual. Those who deem pouring buckets of ice over their heads, posting pictures of themselves pre-puberty and videoing themselves standing still to music be real-life challenges we used to line the streets for revolution. And now we do it for what's really important, the hottest brands at the lowest prices on Black Friday. Media proprietors have adapted to the leap in technological freedom, and have retaliated with their own method of reprisal, where social media supposedly lets you know everything. News outlets have taken this approach and radically expanded upon it. News programs, papers and websites are filled with so much information, that by the time that they have finished digesting it, the audience cannot possibly remember all of the content and therefore believes the outlet ineffectual and choose not to listen anymore. This allows any news outlet to produce any information they want without question. Information is absorbed and excreted at an anomalous rate, and all we can do is watch. As well as this, the overexposure of information is also explicit in the desensitization of the population. After 3 decades of our screens being flooded with images from third world nations in desperate need of our support and celebrity-endorsed campaigns, we as a population can finally say that we do not care. We do not care about other suffering members of our own race. We have been overstimulated to the point that we have switched off to the issues of the world and either expect more of the same chaos each day, or nothing to have changed at all. We are a living oxymoron. We are living in a time in which large-scale army operations taking place in the Middle East are live-streamed on YouTube and become news stories on Snapchat. We are living through an unparalleled repetition of the past and are on a path to relive our own mistakes. At the turn of the century, the world faces discord. Then a governing body departs from the norm. Then, after a period of brief prosperity, it fails, driving it deep into debt. There is more discord, without resolution. Then there is a period of quiet, until the world decides to fight again. Now, is this a summary of the 20th century, or the 19th, or the 18th? We should ask ourselves, as a united body, if life imitates art. Doesn't it simply make life bad art? Trump's marketing team forced the statement, "Make America Great Again," into infamy. But have you ever questioned the prospect of America even being great to begin with? Never forget that this is a nation that was founded on the genocide of its indigenous peoples. A nation built off the back of slavery. A nation that prides itself on its imperialistic and colonial roots. A nation that often ignores the millions of non-white men and women that have died for its continuation. A nation that continues today to let its minorities struggle under the foot of the elite, the 1% and the upper echelons of society. If America claims greatness, we are all truly lost.
Hitler took the guns, Stalin took the guns, Mao took the guns, Fidel Castro took the guns, Hugo Chavez took the guns, and I'm here to tell you, 1776 will commence again if you try to take our firearms. Doesn't matter how.
You are an addict. You click, you scroll, you search, you hashtag, you tweet, you like, you repost. The endless cycle of digital conception, birth, maturation and death. But you chose life, didn't you? You invested in your big house, your fast car and your 55-inch television. You chose your 6 out of 10 on a good day wife, your desk jockey job and your 2 fucking money-leeching despondent children. You chose to overdose on constructed reality programs and the masturbatory nature of consumer capitalism because it made you feel better about yourself. You chose to ignore the obvious nature of our lateral movement as a society. You chose to submit your freedom in the name of your own liberal outburst. You're an addict, so be addicted. Just don't complain that you couldn't do anything about it. Take the best orgasm you've ever had, multiply it by 1,000 and you're still nowhere near the bliss of ignorance.
is